Okay, so I tried to make this video 6 months ago, but it seems YouTube will just reject any footage I film on my iPad, so filming this on my phone here, but yeah. So in this video I'm gonna theorize about future deltarune dark worlds, both what areas in the light world they'll be located in, and based on that I'll also be theorizing about what they will be like, seeing as going into the room where you wake up after seeing the first dark fountain. You can see here, this carpet's the field of hopes and dreams, there's the card stuff everywhere. This is the gate connecting to it's like the first, not the first dark world, but like the castle town, chessboard, scarlet forest, and then this cupboard here is the card castle. And you wake up here like after seeing the first dark fountain because this is the first dark world, and then the other room is the second dark. Oops, my recording got interrupted by an alarm, but yeah. But then that door leads into here, which is where the castle town is. So yeah, I don't think there's another one in the school anywhere. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna note that people often say, "Oh, there seems to be a double motif to the Dark Worlds because here this one's a double door, and the one that leads to the computer lab, which for the cyber world, that's a double door." But that's actually it's not strictly double doors because going into the first Dark Worlds room here, there's a single door, and here's a single door. And really, it's characterized as a double door in the Dark World when we go through it, but yeah. So the first place I suspect is inside Flower King. So if we get past the whole Asgore cutscene, then yeah. But if we go upstairs, no. Uh, anyway, if we go upstairs into the room with the suspicious soul-flowy things, we see a pair of double doors. We can't go through them. It does seem to be a consistent thing that you can't go through the doors that lead to the Dark World until it's a Dark World, and based on the... actually, no, that wouldn't be the case, based on everything, but, still knocking on random shit. But also, this is a whole plant-themed building, it's the Flower King thing. So we could have a whole plant-themed dark world, like plants, nature-themed dark world. So, and then that would be the entrance to it. And our second suspect would be here in the hospital again, double door at the entrance. We go in and go through more double doors. And then we get into the room where this whole scene with not Des, with Noelle and her dad happens. And you very much imagine going into this and then having an immune system themed world, or like, you know sometimes you get in like fantasy worlds or like science cartoons, it's for like little kids, so it's like, oh right, we're inside the body of another character, like Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, like that type of thing. I'm imagining you could have a dark world like that, where it's inside, what's his name? Doesn't tell us his name's here. His name's here, where it's inside his body, and basically it's like all about like, oh, is he gonna die? Oh no, scary, scary, worry. And maybe at the end it's like, oh, he dies, gotta cope with that, or maybe it's like, oh, phew, happy ending. It could go either way. Did I mess up my recording? Did it cut through it? Another common suspect that people often point out that I've also like thought about that's like come to mind is once a food themed world in QC's Diner. I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is not a particularly original idea, and like there's not a lot of elaboration to do here. So yeah. Oh, or maybe there's a dark world inside Icy's Pizza. It's a double door again, and you can't go inside of it here. Plus, pizza is more specific than just food, albeit maybe that makes it a bad thing. It's hard to make. I guess it would be harder to make a whole just a pizza-themed world versus some just general food-themed world. But we can't go inside the pizzeria, unlike QC's Diner. So that's a port, so that'll be it. I'm not sure. I think you can go inside the pizzeria in Chapter 2, which would negate that. I'm not sure. I could probably go back and check, but then I'd have to go to Chapter 1. And getting into Chapter 1's Light World is hard. You have to actually beat the Chaos King, because you can't go back to the Dark World to save. So yeah, that's the whole thing. Also, maybe a water-themed Dark World in the lake, but that kind of violates all the rules. Typically, the Dark Worlds require you to go through the door, and they're like inside, like indoors, and this is just some random lake. it's an idea that I initially threw around very early on, and yeah, at this point I'm pretty much including it for padding or something. I don't know. Israel 2. Oh, little lake monster. And my final prediction is this church building here. Basically, it's like you can't go through doors. It's blocked off by this person you can talk to. In chapter 1. In chapter 2, there's just nobody there. And it's like we can't go in there. On top of that, it's like a very like symbolic building, like in terms of like what it's supposed to be. It's like culturally like, oh, it's the big church thing. It's like all the religion stuff. So you can have a very much like have some heaven, like or spirituality themed dark world for like chapter 7 at the big climax. I think that could work and all. And then also if we go directly south to it, we get all, if we go all way down, it's quite close to this little structure here, which people often see the double door thing, and it's like it's a suspicious thing, you can't go for it, so people for a while thought it was Dark World until some stuff was uncovered in the code, where it's basically like, it's like called the Shelter or something, I forget its name, but it's probably for some climactic story sequence, which would go along well with the church there being part of chapter 7. Or maybe it's chapter 6 and then chapter 7 doesn't have a dark world tied to it, as instead just going between all the different dark worlds being created as dark phantoms pop up everywhere, big climax, you know? Also, I believe last time I found the idea of one in Town Hall. I don't know. Maybe you have a law or some or government or something themed world, I don't know. At this point I'm really just tagging stuff onto the end. So yeah, loading up chapter 2. Like, yeah, loading this up, it's here, but going over to the place, what's it, I gotta hurry, probably wasting your time, but yeah, so while I'm going there, please hit the like button. It costs you nothing, and it benefits me, like, making this cool video free to watch. Please do it. But yeah, going over to the pizza place here, and okay, so you can go into ICs in chapter 2's Light World, so that's kind of hit on the idea of it being a potential future dark world, on top of it all, on top of the whole pizza thing being significantly more generic than the whole just food diner thing. But yeah, also, while I'm here in chapter 2's Light World, I'm just following the police, what a surprise. If we talk to Undyne, then this scene happens, and the significance of this that I want to bring up, give it a moment, just a moment, may this be considered spoilery. It's not like story spoilery, it's cool spoilery. Nebsblook, they are a mixtape maker. I made the jailbreak alarm my mixtape. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and yeah, bye.